I ran away from home in 2007, and it became a turning point for me as maybe some sort of prodigal daughter, something like that. But it also became my business foundation, even though I knew nothing, absolutely nothing about business at that time. Hi everyone, welcome to the live stream. Welcome to Being Chisom. Welcome to my channel, right? If today is your first time coming on this channel, welcome. Welcome to my brand new business show, Being Chisom. It's a 30 days motivational video series where I'm going to be sharing business stories that are geared towards inspiring you, helping you to dare, because what is life without daring? Okay, it's my new year gift to you, take it like that. So let me know usually when we come into the stream. First thing I want you to do in the comments is let me know where you're watching from, location, city, country, and also drop a question for me if you get them as I start. Anything I'm saying that you need to fact check, you want to be sure of, you have other questions around, you drop them in the comment section. That's how we roll. Okay, on this channel in as a whole, I share about how to make money from who you are, exactly who you are. Like, you don't have to imitate anybody else. You are so profitable, and that is what I talk about on this channel. Making money from who you are, doing the work you love. And that is why I want to share my business journey with you. This is why I'm trying to use my story to also validate that claim that I make on this channel, because it's not empty claims at all. So we talk about money, business, and opportunities right here on the channel. We've been here since October 2022. This is a good time for you to like this video and subscribe. Yes, that's another thing that we do right here. Immediately we get here, please like this video and subscribe. Join the family. It's free. Just tap the subscribe button. Also tap the bell button. That way you don't get to miss any session live, because you'll be first to be notified whenever I'm live. Okay, now this is the first episode, and I'm sharing one of my most pivotal aspect of my life, if you think of it like that, because it has to be a time that I ran away from home. Like I said from the introduction, I was 27. I was trying to go find money. I was trying to go find man, discover myself, because what is life without knowing who you are? Please pardon me, I'll be checking that. I forgot that this always happens to me. My temperature is always kind of very cool, so I think this will always happen, but it's nothing I can't handle, guys. All right, now I'm looking at those who are coming on the stream. Okay, now at 27, I had to leave home. Like I said, it wasn't easy. I'm sorry, I'm gonna get my handkerchief. It wasn't easy. It was one of those things that I don't know if you've ever been in a place where you feel like, this time around I want to be rebellious, and please give me 1 minute, please. Trying to be sure that victory. Please hold on for me a bit, just 1 minute. Please help me get this my green handkerchief that is inside of my bag. Not like that. Let me bring it. Pardon me, guys. Pardon me. We are 5 minutes in. I'm going to pick up from just where I stopped in a bit. I'm trying to check this. Thank you, Akita. My husband is on the stream. Nice to be listening to you from Nigeria, of course. Okay, thank you. So I had just done 27. Thank you. I had just turned 27. I knew I needed a fresh start. I I was at the point where I was feeling stuck. I was feeling like, I needed to do something about my life. I was feeling like I was held back. I was feeling I just needed a fresh start, right? If you're also at that point in your life or have ever been, then this story will resonate with you a lot. Like I said, I had just turned 23 2 months before this time, and I just packed my suitcase, left my overprotective home, and stepped into the world, into the unknown. No job. There was no job. There was nothing lined up for me. I just had basic small savings I had, back home, and I didn't even have a clue where I was to go to, right? But I did it anyway. I had to go find where money, where my influence, where myself, where my skills and talents will be appreciated. Please like this video if you come on the stream, and please subscribe, okay? Now, I grew up in a very strict and loving home, but we were overprotected. Even if I say so myself, we were overprotected. Like, my dad would not let you just go anywhere, be anywhere. My parents always want the best for us, like, right? So my parents wanted the best for me, but their idea of best, and my own best was just not aligning. Something was wrong with it sinking in that sense. I had graduated from the university 3 years before then. The next year after I graduated in 2004, I had started working. My dad also got a job for me. I started working as a security guard, security guard in a security company that was in Port Harcourt, but was deploying people for their clients in Aba. It was a telecom company, and I loved it. I loved the whole experience. I worked there for about 10 months until we were called to go for a mandatory National Youth Service Corps, and I had to leave. This was 2006 now. I had to leave in 2006 for youth service. But I was back. I was done. I was back January of 2007. It was like, what next? Those are the days of, if you remember, those are the days that banking was like the Lord, like, oh my God. Banking was like entrepreneurship of now. And it was because there's no other sector I would use to compare how bank was so popular. Everybody wanted to get into the banking sector. I remember writing a bank test in First Bank in Port Harcourt. I remember writing in Lagos. I mean, how our parents will fund those trips, beat me, because I wasn't somebody that even loved calculations or jobs in those kind of jobs, but those were the things that everybody was running for, and I just had to be going. Now, I was just done with all of that as well. Like, this is not even something I want to do. All of those GMAT texts that they will give us, me and maths, we have a love-hate relationship. So I just knew that if I keep doing this, waiting, this was now about 7 months after youth service. All I did was be home, be a good girl, cook, clean house, cook and clean. And I was at 27. Oh my God. I realized that I wasn't living for myself. I wasn't living my life. I had dreams. I didn't know how the full picture, but I had dreams. But being home was suffocating it. It was being suffocated. Everybody's expectations was not even helping the dream to manifest. Everybody wanted me to do a certain thing, to be a certain way. Especially my beloved dad, who was always, at the front burner of, I'm going to do this for you, don't worry. He would say, I'll go get you a government job. I was like, government what? If there was something I knew at that time, I knew what I didn't want, right? And that I know that they meant well, but they are constant having to have control over my life, every aspect. It just left me feeling trapped. I wasn't allowed to make mistakes, because what is life without making your mistakes? I couldn't explore the world. I couldn't even dream freely. I couldn't even say certain things at home, So I knew deep down I needed to break through, and I would need to discover myself. I felt like I was suffocating. Somebody is feeling saying, like, you've been there before. I had a degree now, so but there's no real career that I have started. So what was I going to do with the English degree? What was I going to do with the literature and all of the books I read and all of the knowledge in my head, right? And I lived in a city that thrived with, or rather, that was known for enterprise, yeah, doing stuff with your hands, selling and all of that. But yet, living in that city, we were shielded away from that whole business and all that. So I didn't even learn how to sell a thing. 27, no business skill, no money knowledge. I felt like fish out of water straight up, because I was like, okay, this was end of school. I've always left home to go to school, and I didn't want anybody to tell me it was time to go for your masters. I wasn't up for that. My mom, we had such a running battle. Like, I didn't want straight up back to school, and I didn't have a skill. I didn't have money. Now, the beautiful thing is that I wish I always knew I would be an entrepreneur. I always admired entrepreneurs, right? But at that time, I didn't have the courage, right, to even begin to think that I was going to be an entrepreneur or was going to set out to sell anything, right? I just felt stuck. And I was also in a place where I was now getting marriage proposals from, in my head, the wrong places, because those were not places I wanted to belong, because they also reminded me of my caged religious upbringing, and so it was messing with my emotions and my mental health. Even if I say so myself, I just look like Gen Zs I heard, who are always conscious of their mental health, right? At that time, we didn't even know what was mental health really. But anyway, so I decided that I was going to move to a big city. I didn't know which. It was terrifying to think about it, but it was also exciting for me that if I finally leave home, man, I was going to enjoy my life. That was how I felt, right? Now, please like this video as you come on the stream. Like and join the family. Also subscribe to my channel. So let me ask you, have you ever felt the need to completely start your life over, or start out? For me, it was not even starting over. It was me starting out my own life. I felt like I had been living every other person's life, right? Now, have you also been in a place where you felt like you needed to take a leap? You needed to have faith in yourself and in God and just go pursue a dream, and it will still be feeling impossible, and you're feeling, can I achieve it? That was me at that time. So I left my small town in Aba in Nigeria with nothing but just a bag of clothes, a little bit of my savings, and a dream that I was going to build my dream life. Crazy, and I wanted to make myself proud. That's what I'm going to be discussing in this stream. I'm going to be telling you why I took that decision to run away from home and how that shaped my business journey, right? So let me set it clear. I didn't have the support of my parents at all, of both of them, to leave. My mom wasn't against it, but of course she was apprehensive, like how was I going to cope? And then she was wondering, how was I going to convince my dad to leave, right? So I felt I was done with normal living. I was done with doing things a certain way, or things being done for me. I wanted something different. I was ready to face the world. I felt like, thinking about it now, I don't know where I got the audacity from, but that's thanks to youthful energy, right? It still baffles me to now when I think about all the things I went through, and not one day did I feel like, oh my God, it's time to go home. Not one day. I'm going to dig into this story as we go. Mind you, this session is going to be for 30 days, so please join. Thank you, African Tales and Beats. Yeah, but here are the reasons why I felt I was to leave home either that time or never, right? Mind you, when I left home, I had no extra money. Like I said, I didn't have a place to stay. I wasn't even sure which city to move to. I had only the support of my siblings, because they were almost like, I was done with school. They were almost like, even we too, we needed to leave home. So on a certain Friday in September of 2007, I left home. But before then, what happened was that I had, I took advantage of an occasion. That's what happened. Now, months before that time, like rewind, months before that time, my best friend out of university was getting married. She was living in Port Harcourt and I was living in Aba. Those cities were just like an hour drive away from each other, right? So I was to be her bridesmaid. In your 20s are the bridesmaid years. Hi, freelancer, welcome. Cartoon Galaxy, welcome. All right, so I was just like, okay, so nice. The wedding was held in Lagos. So I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm going to go to Lagos again after so long. Thank you for all the love. I can see them, guys. Thank you. And I was just like, I needed to go. Like, I need to go and at least mingle with my mates, leave home, go to a big city and all that. So I will go to Port Harcourt to do measurement, to go with my friend out, to see people, to style, to fit my clothes and all of that, go to church. And and let me even talk about it. The church where my friend was attending at the time that I would always follow her to finally became my church when I finally moved to a big city, and right now still my church, interestingly. Anyway, so like this video, share if you're here on the stream right now while we're getting down with this story. Now, why did I decide to leave home? Why did I decide to run away? Why will a girl decide to leave her parents and her family, right? Number one was that I was done. I felt I was done with everything I was wired to do from home. Like, I was done. I was being a good daughter, have 5 younger ones, taking care of everyone, gone to school, back, have my degree now, done my mandatory NYSC. So the next thing is to get a job. And I didn't, I just felt, yeah, I'm done. And it's time for me to, get on to another phase of my life. Number two, why I left home. I wasn't ready to get married. A lot of people were coming. I started getting suitors from when I was 14. Like, I'm like, why? What are you guys looking for? So I felt like I hadn't even found myself. I hadn't even started working. I always dreamt of a certain kind of life, right? So I knew that staying at home, recommendations would be coming. My church was one particular source, and those were the times I just had the experience that year or 2 years before. I had experience where somebody wanted to marry me from church and had said they had already put me to meet, we used to have a marriage committee. So if you want to get married, you don't go and tell the person I want to marry you or even be their friend. You have to go tell the church. And then the church will now let you know, based on what they know about the person or you, whether you should approach the person or not. That was how, my local assembly used to do it. So this particular person had made that kind of registration on behalf of me and him for 6 years prior. That's before I even got into the university. Now, I was out of the university and I was being told to come face a panel because somebody has been waiting for me for 6 years. And I'm like, no. I don't even want to marry people that have this kind of belief. I was such a rebel, guys. Yes, proudly so. So I needed to leave home, far away from all of this talk of marriage and all that. Again, another reason why I left was because I was definite about the kind of career path I wanted. Coming from a background where I studied English language and literature, it took me over 2 years of being at home before I was able to convince my father to allow me study that course of my dream. My father wanted another career for me, another field and all that. He didn't see the prospect of studying English language. He didn't know what I wanted to do with it. He was scared that I was going to end up a teacher. And according to him, teachers do no good. They don't earn anything. Thank you for the love, guys. And I felt, well, this is what I wanted to do. And every of my plans and his plans failed. I couldn't get the admission in the universities he wanted. And I had to finally go get my own admission by myself in another school, third-party school entirely. So he was just forced to just pay my fees and see me through school. So I had already gone through that and done with university. So I was already at a part where I knew that I wasn't quite sure what I was going to be, but I knew that I was going to do media. I knew I was going to be in the media. I knew that my best TV shows were majorly advertisements. You won't believe it. I loved advert. I loved the mind that goes into copywriting, even though I didn't know that was what it was called at that time. I loved creativity. I loved this kind of thing I'm doing now, right? But we didn't have YouTube, internet, all of that at that time. Thank you, African Tales and Beat. Thank you. Yes, you are free to ask questions, please. Yeah. Did I have seen a question here. Did you talk to your parents about you leaving home? Yes. Thank you for reminding me. I told them my friend is getting married, and this Lagos this wedding is going to be in Lagos. I'm going to be her bridesmaid. My mom was like, okay, cool. She scrutinized my dress, whether it was worldly or if it was, she felt like it was because it was a book gown and she was just like, this clothes, blah, blah, blah. But she was happy. I know the kind of thing my mom likes, away from her conviction with religion, right? But my dad was a hard nut to crack. Like, my dad just came in one day, saw me ironing the clothes and said, which outfit is this? And I'm like, that is the wedding I told you about. And he's like, you're not going anywhere. Return it. I'm like, oh, how am I going to miss the opportunity to leave home? I had come back from a faraway state as well, from my NYC. I had to do my NYC in Sokoto State. I came back in January of that year, and this was September. So this was like 8 months staying home. I was already bored, too bored, and I felt Lagos was going to be a relief. And him saying, you come my school at old school dad. Yes, so now he's even more new school than then. I don't know. Religion does a thing to people, really, guys. Anyway, he told me no, and I said, Daddy, in the coming days I tried to convince him why I had to go. He kept saying no way, like, you're not going to go to Lagos to do what? Only you with what? Like I was a child. And I'm like, but Daddy, I have gone to Calabar for secondary school and back. I had gone to Owerri to study in university and back. I have gone to Sokoto. Do you know how far that is? That's over 16 hours on the road. What am I saying? More than that. Away from home. And the man was like, no way, you're not going anywhere. Well, I kept preparing for my trip. I knew that it was going to be hard to leave and come back and say, oh, Daddy, I went and I came back. It to look like an affront. So I took myself that I was going to go, and when I go, I won't come back. So he will be looking for me. That was what happened, yeah? Now, again, so thank you for reminding me, African Tales. Now, also, another reason I did that was that I was in the middle of self-discovery. Everybody gets to this point where they're like, I need to find me. Like, you will feel that it's like a betting bang. It's like that point where you're about to get to push your child. Like, contraction is happening. You have this purpose contraction that happens to all of us at every time. It is the push that something else, you need to get into another phase of your life. While I didn't understand all of that then, but I knew that I needed to believe my God. I needed to follow my heart, right? I was in the middle of finding self, and thankfully I had already discovered I have a way of getting what I wanted. I'm a positive rebel, if you want to say it like that. Now, why I also left home was I was getting away. I wanted to get away from religion. I wanted to make this a point. In this world where we all are living, yes, I believe that there's God, and I believe in God Almighty. I believe in His Son Jesus, and I believe in the Holy Spirit. I believe in the Trinity God, right? I believe that Jesus died for me. And I believe that God is Jesus, and Jesus is God, and God is Holy Spirit. Do you understand what I mean? I get that. And I also understand the sacrifices that He had to go through to pay for my sins and all of that. But I don't understand when religion prescribes your way of life away from the things that are in the Holy Book, the Bible, right? So I grew up already as a teenager, with all of that stuff in me. I didn't want it anymore. If you're like me and you have done away with religion, you have tried to rip yourself from religion and find true worship, true worship of God, let me know in the comments. Please let me know in the comments, okay? That was another reason I needed to get away from my parents' path. Like, I felt like, oh gosh, okay, you went to this church, you subscribed to this ideology, you took me there, yes, but at the point I'm not enjoying it because I'm your child. I'm not free to make my choice, except I am on my own, and I needed it badly, guys. I needed it badly. Now, how did I know? The church I finally chose for myself also became one of the biggest foundations that taught me business. Remember, overall, this is about my business journey, guys. And today, I'm just telling you why I made the first move to turn around my life entirely. I needed to get away from religion really fast. Please like this video if you're coming on the stream, like I said, and please subscribe to the channel, okay? I'm going to be checking those who have joined this channel. I mean, it's free, right? Tap the subscribe button and tap on the bell button so that you can get notifications anytime I come live or anytime I drop a video, okay? I needed to get far away from religion. It was messing with me. It was messing with my self-esteem. like when I asked questions like, okay, so why don't we wear earring? I was told, okay, this is how these Bible quotations were given, and of course the culture of the organization, which my church was about. But then I had the longing for. I loved people who wore earring. Then as a teenager, I felt something was wrong with me, because I felt you have been told a lot of times not to wear this, is worldly, is that, is idolatry. Why do you still even have any iota of attraction for people who wear them? That means your soul is doomed, you know. So I felt like, no, somebody save me. Why am I liking the things I'm not supposed to like? I was so hard on myself, guys. It was running me mad. And I knew that getting away from home will first of all help me to question, God, who are you? You know, like away from all of the stipulated religion and laws and regulations. Yeah, I'm getting a debit on my account. Oh God. Anyway, guys, I just saw a debit. I don't know, 2K something. I don't know what my bank is debiting my account. Okay, anyway, guys, don't mind me. I'm crazy. Oh my gosh, I needed to run away from religion. Another reason why I left, I wanted to meet new people. I was also curious to learn. I wanted to understand what the media world was about. I knew I was going to media. I didn't know whether it was TV, radio, newspaper, writing, whatever. I didn't know which, but I knew that was where I was going to, because I knew, I love to read books. I love to review books. I love to read out books. I breathed, and everything I did was books. I love books, right? I love stories. I love to tell stories. And if I give you a gist about something, you will feel like you were there, right? My mom used to tell me this, and I grew up to discover that it's true. So I knew that whatever I was going to do had to do with talking, like speaking, acting, writing, you get. But I didn't know how I was going to do it. So I knew I needed to get closer to people who were in those fields. And my city didn't have a lot of those kind of people. And I needed to get away fast, right? Again, why I had to leave home at 27. I craved corporate culture, right? I had a taste of corporate culture when I worked as a security official in the company where I worked before my youth service. I loved it. I made a lot of friends there who were working for the company, for the main company, not my security company, right? And I made a lot of friends, and I kind of envied them, and I felt, okay, I haven't gone for youth service, so my certificate won't really count to get those kind of job. I loved it. I loved corporate culture. I wanted to, feel what it felt like to go to work, be in an actual office, have your own computer, do stuff, write proposals, defend, make presentations. No, all of that. Wear high heel shoes. Look at me. That's why when I see people now in their 20s doing all of this, I'm like, oh girl. I'm one of their biggest supporter, because why not? See, life is supposed to be lived, to be adventured, right? Yeah. And I also wanted to learn how to work my gifts. At that point, I didn't have anybody validating any of the things I was doing. I didn't even have anybody tell me, okay, you love to read books, that means you'll be good in this. I just didn't have role models who were telling me, stuff, things that were possible with things I already knew how to do. Instead, I was feeling like I needed to unlearn the things I was already used to doing, to learn a certain kind of life, to fit into a parastatal, a ministry, or somewhere to work. And I wasn't having it, honestly. And I wasn't confronting my parents, so don't get me wrong. I wasn't. I was just living my life, bringing my case forward and all of that. Another reason why I ran away from home at 27 was because, obviously, I wanted a good job. Like I said, I wanted corporate culture. I wanted to get a job. I was done with all of those bank jobs, like I said, all of those bank tests, not jobs. I wanted more. That was another reason. I wanted just more out of my life. I wanted to know why. What can I do? Who am I really? If you don't get out of home, how will you come back to make your parents proud, right? It just didn't feel right that I was still home at 27, period. And that's why the fact that everybody was, there are certain people that had the idea that, oh, single lady, you shouldn't go to another city and live alone. Nobody will marry you. You will look like a loose girl. All of that, all of me was like, well, is their opinion, right? I just realized that I have never really been that person who minded what people said, right? In as much as yes, I can get very discouraged when people tell me no or try to counter what I'm doing, even though it's good. I can be very, very I can have self-doubt. So what I do growing up, I discovered that I have a way of shielding myself from naysayers. Not like you can block off all of them, right? But I have a way of shielding myself from them, and I wanted more. Yeah. I also felt another reason I left home was because I felt I was adult enough to have left home, because who lived with their parents from conception to 27? I mean, yes, I went to boarding school, I went to university away from home, I went for youth service, but those were just go and come back, go and come back. So now that I'm done, why should I still be with them, right? Especially because I wasn't looking at getting married like immediately. So was I going to remain there? And does it mean I have to remain there? I'm married from that city, married from my church family. You know, everything looked like run away. I felt like run away. It was like run away, man. Again, I ran away from home at 27 because I needed to prove God, whether He existed beyond the lenses where everybody around me was making me see Him from. I needed to know whether if He was really in charge of the world, then I could adventure. I could go to new places, right? I wasn't supposed to be stuck there, right? So I needed to prove God and know Him for myself. I also think that where I left was somehow inside of me subconsciously. I think I believed that the humans are kind, because thinking about it, I don't know why I could leave home without saying, okay, this is where I'm going to stay after the wedding. Yes, I understand. Going to the wedding, I was going to be with my friend's family. But after the wedding, what happens? Remember, I set out immediately saying I won't come home. But thinking about it now, I never had a plan where I was going to be. But yet, I knew I would be fine. So I think why I left was somehow subconsciously, I believed that human beings are kind. I was going to find a way somehow, right? Like the video if you're on the stream, guys. Share this video as well to somebody who needs it. Share on your WhatsApp status if you would. I would really appreciate it, please. And also subscribe to my channel. If any of these things that I'm saying is even currently how you feel, that your feelings are valid. I want you to know that your feelings are valid. Starting a business and growing a business that is a multi-million naira industry, multi-million naira business right now, 15 years later, because I made this one move, will tell you that, see, don't let fear stop you. Yeah, that quest, that thing I tell you, do this, it could just be the beginning of a beautiful life mission. Yeah, just like this story I'm telling. Do you know this thing I'm saying about how you can dare and step out and believe your gods and all that? It can also be, it is something that people make a lot of money from, helping people discover themselves, helping people take a step, helping people to trust their instincts, to take risks, right? Now, it's an area you can also help people with. So I'm just pointing out different ways, and see, things I've learned in business are so deep about life that I'll go all the way. 30 days I've committed to sharing this. Please join me every night, 8 p.m. this same time for these sessions. I'm going to take it episode by episode, please. Okay, this can be an enterprise. It can be because not a lot of people are able to find themselves, follow their heart, be stubborn enough about their vision, quit hearing or listening to what people are saying and listen to what their spirit is telling them, and we all get to that juncture in life, right? Like many times in life, you get to this place where you're like, should I succumb? Should I accept what people are saying, or should I push on? We always get there, and these points always define our destinies. One thing that always helped me was that I used to be scared. Like, if you have such a push in your spirit to do something and you're refusing because of people will not be there when the outcome or the consequences of your negligence or things you shouldn't have or should have done happens, right? So at the point we got to Lagos after the wedding, I had to put heads. Now, I didn't even mention, I went to that Lagos with two other of my siblings because they just couldn't imagine me leaving their house and they were going to remain alone. So they followed me that early morning. Thank you, African Tales, freelancer, I can see your laptops. Are you dashing me laptops from where? So I had to put heads together with my younger sister and after the wedding to say, okay, so where do you think we should go? Okay, I left with my two younger ones. My brother went back home later. I stayed all through with my sister. We stayed for 2 more days with the family of my friend, I remember. Then we started thinking, where else do we go? And also that year, I mean, I was done with youth service, so my sister was done with university as well. So we just thought, so we need to find a job, or where do we need to stay? We remembered one of our big cousins from my maternal side, God bless his soul. We remembered him and called him up, got his number, called him up and said, we're in Lagos, we're kind of stranded, we want to be in Lagos for a while, job hunting and all that. And happily, he was like, oh my God, he's a Lagos big boy. So, I mean, he was like, oh my God. Now, if not for that move, we couldn't have called him, wouldn't have had the need to call him, because Lagos and Aba are far away. And also, we are not like close in age. He's like almost 10 years older than I am. So, but that necessitated, we needed to be sure that we were going to get into good hands. We wanted to be sure that we stayed with somebody that knows us and all that. So we went there, he picked us up, we went there, another part of Lagos. But after 2 weeks, we knew from all that was happening around us. I mean, he was loving, he was protective, but we felt like we were vulnerable with the environment, the people, the guys, the parties, we now started feeling like we need to also, and again, we couldn't even, the area where he lived, we couldn't get a job. All our applications were coming back, or the kind of job they were giving us were like salespeople, jobs that would need us to more like stay in Lagos and not earn a lot. So we knew after 2 weeks of staying there that we needed to go to somewhere else, or maybe go back home. For me, go back home was not an option. It never was an option. You can tell that by the time my parents were worried, they were wondering, what am I up to? What am I up to? And all that. So 2 weeks later, phone calls, we were calling people that we felt could help, phone calls upon phone calls. We got a far relative of ours who said, okay, if you want to come to Abuja, we can stay in my place. We were so happy. And this was because we also had a pastor friend of ours who had said, okay, I started a small media company. If you have a place to stay in Abuja, I could employ you. So I felt, oh my God, media job. I was always so excited to hear media back in the days. I was like, media job, oh my God, I need to take this offer. Which is why we started reaching out to people in Abuja. And we started saying, okay, we were also a bit familiar with Abuja because we had, we used to visit sometimes my parents and all that. So when he made the offer, he wasn't in the country, but he said, okay, you can go stay in my house and we'll talk to this person. They will let you in and all that. We were like, oh my gosh. He was also well-to-do. So we knew that somehow this could have been answered prayer. We entered the next bus and traveled from west to the north of Nigeria to Abuja, the capital of Nigeria. I remember arriving there, these relatives, what I call them, like a janitor was there, received us and all that. We settled in. We were happy that, oh my gosh, this is not true. This is not happening really, Then we called up my friend, or our mentor, our pastor friend, who had said he had a company, and I'm now in, of course it was me he was offering the job to. I'm now in Abuja. He was like, oh my God, that's very interesting. We told him the address of where we were. We weren't familiar with the city, but he came. He saw me, he told me how they operate, how the company works and all that. I was like, oh, that's fine. I'll do anything, right? I was so excited. But anyway, some people are coming on this stream and they're not liking this video. They're not subscribing. Why? Don't you like my face? Okay, you don't like my story? What? You're not even asking me questions. So how am I supposed to know what you want to hear? Please go like my video. Please like this video. Thumbs it up, yeah, and please subscribe to the channel. Now, when I think about life as a crossroad, we all get there, but it is how we decide or how we react to, those times we feel like we are at a crossroad. We need to make a decision fast. It is how we react to those situations that that changes the course of our lives. Just this evening, my husband asked me, do you think I'm the right partner you should have married? In that sense, we want to tell each other. I'm like, of course, for this reason, for that reason, for that reason. The same way, our choices makes the kind of life that we live, right? So whether you are proud of the decisions you've taken in the past or the decision you've taken now, it doesn't matter. What matters is that they are all in the past. Today is another opportunity for you to seek lives to seek life as an adventure, right? To make the decision that resonates with your spirit, because that is the God in you speaking. I learned how to follow my spirit that young, right? Fast forward to today, I run a successful business out of any of my locations, anywhere I am, working with CEOs and academics who are grateful, who are saying, oh my gosh, thank you for you and your team. What could I have done? Who are landing jobs and giving a word of degrees, and they are saying thanks to you. Look at this, I got this finally, right? Freelancer, the life is very beautiful. Everyone shares it. Okay, yeah, yes. So, and I couldn't think of this life back then, but I knew that all I did was follow through what my heart was yearning for. Yeah. None of the things that have happened in the last more than how many years now? 18, 2007 till now, 2017 is 10 years. So can you see? 18 years after. Gosh. None of the things that happened in 18 years could have happened if I didn't take that step of running away from home. It is critical to know the point in your life that is a major milestone that you must take. You must do something drastic. I think it's very important. And see, no matter what the opportunities have been in the past, you have the chance to take the right decision the next time, right? Starting over or starting off your life can be so terrifying. It was for me. Thank you, African Tales. But it was also the best decision of my life, if you ask me. Like, if I hadn't left home at that time. So let me encourage you here. If you're thinking of starting out or starting over, let me tell you, it's not too late, and it's absolutely worth it. Trust me. Coming from me, it's absolutely worth it. See, that's when you will know whether you are just a mass, whether you're just a number, or God can actually see you, whether you're a real important personality in this universe. Trust me. Let me know what your biggest leap has been in the comment section. Share with me your story. Remember, this is interactive. Share your biggest leap you've ever taken in life with me. Madam Dora, thank you so much. Thank you for joining. All right. Also subscribe so that we can talk more. See, if you at any point seek that, maybe something came to your mind like this kind of story I have, mine is even more inspiring, and I need to document this either through a video like this or an animated video or a book, my company can help you do that. And that's also part of why I'm sharing this, to give you the opportunity to step out. See, but in 100 years, all of us watching this live stream will not be here, will not be on earth. No. And it doesn't even matter our religion or our taste, our color, all those won't matter. We just will not be here, right? So what will remain here is just like we read the Bible, and the people that we read about are gone. What will remain here are the things you have documented, the things that other people can read, and they can feel a shade and a taste of the world that you lived in. Because the world is changing. The world that we're living now is not the world that was even there when I ran away from home. Right? I remember running away from home. I had my small Motorola phone. It was the first phone I was having. I had from 2004 when all of that came mainstream, and my dad bought it for me. Today, how many phones I've used in those number of years is almost how technology have changed the world entirely, right? So when we have to live a bit of our life for posterity, I think it's so important. And that's also what my company does, Logo Story Books. That's what we do. We help people publish books, public videos, interactive media about the story of their life or the experiences they've had working in a way that somebody else will be grateful. Thank God I met or I got this book. Thank God I met this person. Thank God I listened to this person's video. Like this video I'm doing, I'm very intentional about it, like everything I've done, like running away from home. I am so intentional about it because it's not just for me, it's not about me, it's about who else, even if it's my children that will come back to watch it tomorrow and it's, oh my gosh, I have facts about who my mother is. You can't be telling me she did this, she did that. She said it herself. There is proof, right? So I'm going to be sharing a whole lot. If you are interested, I'm going to drop the email address of my company in the first comment pinned on this live stream after this session when I save it. And please, I'm going to be sharing again tomorrow how I built an international personal brand and a business out of this running away. If you are really interested to hear, please drop the right courage in the comment section. Write courage right now. And if you're a YouTuber by any means, welcome to the stream. Let me know that you are a content creator so that we can support each other. I can go watch your videos and all other people can also go watch your videos and subscribe as well. Okay. And let me share with you some of the lessons that running away from home at 27 taught me. I'm 44 now. Looking back, I'm like, geez, what if I never made that move, right? Looking back, I've learned so much. And in these 30 days, I'm going to be sharing a whole lot, guys. If you were not on the stream yesterday, please go and check yesterday's stream to give you an idea of what to expect. See, you don't want to miss any session. Yeah, one of the things I learned from this experience for me is that you can't find yourself in comfort zones. No, you can't. You can't just maintain status quo and not move, remain in the same city you were born, just do the things that that are near basic, listen to everybody's advice without listening to yourself, and you want to grow. It's not possible. Nothing fantastic happens out of a comfort zone. I learned it the hard way. I learned it by practice. Another key thing I learned in this journey is that feeling restless, that point you start feeling restless, I want to do this, and just something in your spirit is no longer at peace with where you are. And that time you become resolute. It's a defense for you against a life of mediocrity. It's trying to save you from a whole life ahead of mediocrity, of living an ordinary life. Trust me, when you start feeling restless or start feeling like you're not, something needs to change about something, it's time to go to the next level. Breath in it, savor it, pray, just ask God for direction, and please be willing to make a change. Don't be stuck up about, oh, no, I'm not used to this. I can't move cities. I can't do this. I can't do this. Another lesson I learned in a hard way is that you need to invest in yourself. If you want to grow, you need to invest in yourself. There is no way around it. You can't be, playing down on yourself. You're your own biggest asset. I learned it by myself. You are your own biggest asset. You have to invest in yourself. I can't even count the number of online courses, programs, conferences, webinars, books, meeting people, going for mentorship and all that I had to go through because I left home. See, living home for 12 years taught me everything I became. I'm going to share more tomorrow so that this live stream is not so long. Another lesson I learned is that you need to bet on yourself because you're a big deal. Bet on yourself. Tell yourself, I'm going to achieve this. I'm going to do this. And I'm going to do it this way, and I'm going to succeed. You are such a big deal. See, if there's anything you should be afraid of you not achieving what you set out to achieve. Be afraid of you undermining your capabilities. That's what you should be afraid of. See, I haven't even told you the story, see, because it's almost an hour. I'm like, oh my gosh. Tomorrow, I'll be telling you what happened when I arrived at Abuja. Hey, God. I'm waiting my eyes see. Those who are not Nigerians, pardon me. I will tell you what my eyes saw living in Abuja for 12 years. Like, literally. Tomorrow, I'll be telling you all about it. But make sure that you know that it is okay to take risks. Calculated risk for your life. The journey for me was not easy, but it was totally worth it. Take that step. Leave any situation that is no longer serving you. Anything that is stealing your dream, postponing your grand, day, that is making you, that you've been too scared to pursue. You've been too, you're consulting too much, asking everybody, is it okay? Is it okay? A future is waiting for you to claim it. You can't continue this ordinary living. What will you tell God when you face him? Like, I was afraid, I wasn't fine enough, I didn't have money, it was far from my house, that's why I couldn't speak English. What is the excuse? Haven't you read the story of the talents in the Bible? For those who read Bible, right? See, you can't afford to live a life that is just boring, colorless, uninspiring. We have a lot of those people already because they didn't hear a voice like mine, maybe encouraging them. Please don't add to the number. If that's the only thing you can take away from this stream, please take it away. If my story resonated with you in any way, keep giving this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to this channel right now because we're going to continue right here tomorrow. Share with somebody who needs to hear this. A lot of people are depressed. I'm constantly advising, counseling, talking to people, talking to their spouses, talking to their sisters, talking to their brothers. And I have my own journey as well, right? I'm not complaining, but I'm just like we can all reach out to more people when you can share with them what has benefited you, right? Now, I didn't get any question in the comments. I hope that's me hoping that there are no questions. So let me know in the comments right now, what is the bold move you've been thinking about making? Let me know. Don't worry, nothing will happen to your dreams, it will come to pass. What is that bold move that you're thinking of moving, right? Let me know in the comments and I'll be replying to every comment even after this live stream. This video is going to be saved here. It's not going anywhere. You can always come back and watch it, okay? But make sure that you subscribe to this channel, you like this video, and you share with someone. That way, God will be smiling at you happily because you've done community service. That's what it is. I am really, really grateful for the internet data you have invested in watching this to this time. Thank you, African Tales and Beats. Looking back at your experience from running away from home, do you have any moments of regret or sober reflections? None at all. Sober reflections, yes, I look back and I'm like, okay, maybe I would have done this, done that better, but overall, no regrets at all. I think it made me the human being I have become. It made me everything I am today by God's grace, right? I needed to make that. God was just waiting for me in my destination, even when I didn't know. So I'm going to tell you how that we didn't remain in Lagos. We went to Abuja, and that was now where I grew up. In fact, that's where I grew up. From then, 27 till 44 to 39, I lived in Abuja, and it became my biggest life, the most interesting part of my life. Let me put it like that. It helped me to rebuild my business, build my relationship, find God, build brands, meet people, really, really explore, see the good things of life, see the finer things of life, really. See, Abuja is beautiful, and that is just a foretaste of how beautiful this whole world God made is, right? So don't miss tomorrow, and I'll be telling you what happened when I arrived in Abuja and all my big city dreams and what happened, okay? Thank you so much, everyone who tuned in. Freelancer, thank you. Dora, thank you so much. African Tales and Beat, my #1 support. Thank you so much. Who else didn't like? Okay, Katun Galazi and Architect Otibiaka, my husband. Thank you so much for joining. I'll see you again same time tomorrow. Share this live stream, don't forget, and be amazing. Thank you. Bye.